Good evening, everybody. This is Pasquale Maggiore, and I am not coming to you from the WEBR studios in Buffalo, coming to you from my back bedroom. Some people like to call their back bedroom their office. Some people like to call their back bedroom their man cave. Some people like to call their back bedroom a recording studio. As you can hear my dog in the background, no consideration of what is going on when it comes to this Wrestlemania stream that myself and I don't know, there's people have called you so many different things, and I'm not exactly sure what I should be calling you. I see Rockstar Chazz at the bottom. You're known as Geo. You're known as AJ. You're known as Chef Tony. What shall I refer to you as during this live stream?
When I podcast, I go by Chazz. That's my stage name. So
Chazz, got it.
Chazz.
You don't have to call me Troy. You don't have to call me PJ. You can just refer to me as Pasquale Chazz.
Okay, that sounds great. I wasn't sure how to go about that either the first time we were on record together.
So it is one of the most wonderful weeks of the year, not only if you're a wrestling fan, but if you're an entertainment fan, and if you've been under a rock for the last, 11 months or whatever, you wouldn't know that this is WrestleMania week.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and the most what do you call it? Like sweaty wrestling fan time of the year. It's a time for all the debates, man. It's the time for for people to fight and argue over. I would say we'll get to all the angles. I would say the hottest angle that people are arguing over right now is Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte right now. But we'll get to that when it comes to it. So I'm just excited. WrestleMania season. It's almost better than Christmas season. Almost better.
When you talk about heated debates, one of my biggest issue with modern wrestling fans right now is way too many of them seem to be more concerned with what's going on behind the scenes rather than what's going on their television screen, on their cellular device, on their computer screen. And I feel like WrestleMania is the week to bring people back into their love of professional wrestling and really just enjoy professional wrestling for what it is.
It's what I like to refer to as the Dave Meltzer virus, man. Like he did this. Like smart guy, knows a lot about wrestling, but just always ruining surprises and just making everybody think they know. I'm not a wrestler. You are. I don't act like I'm a wrestler. I don't act like I know everything. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I know that, because I don't know anything. I don't know anything about the business. So it's like, I watch, I enjoy it. I can be critical, but it doesn't mean that I'm a know-it-all and there's only one way to do things. Because if you think that way, if you think there's only one way to do things, you're losing it. You're never gonna just sit back, enjoy, and be surprised. And I know damn well that you and everybody listening at home felt that way when John Cena turned last month. Nobody saw it coming. I saw it coming 2 seconds before it happened. I was like, and then it happened. And I was just and it was so refreshing, and I felt like a damn kid again.
I was very bleary-eyed because normally we're in bed by 8:15, 8:20. On Fridays, we try to stretch it till 9:30. So I was half unconscious, and I was watching my television. I'm like, what exactly is going on here? I had to go back, rewatch it the next morning. And after watching it again, I'm like, that was great.
Yeah, I was sitting watching it, and I liked the match, and I liked the ending. And I remember I'm sitting there watching him, and right before, when he gives Cody that first hug, I'm like, he's being way too happy and babyface, and then his face changed, and I was like, "It's here! Finally, it's here!" Something that we've wanted to see since what? 03 is about the time he stopped being a heel.
Yeah, I think around that time it was and then you got the critics that come out each and every week. Well, you should have said this, didn't say that, yada yada yada. Like they know more than a multi-million-dollar professional wrestler and worldwide actor. I don't know. I don't get it.
You know what I have to say about those critics? That's what I have to say. That's what their opinion is to me.
I like it a lot. All right, so what we're going to do here this evening on the program is we're going to run down the card for both nights. But before we do that, I just want to get out a couple like WrestleMania memories that you'll never forget. And Chaz, we'll start with you. Maybe go with a handful, 3, 4 or so.
Sure. I mean, so I have watched every single WrestleMania live since I want to say 14. I remember I watched 9, 10, 11, 12. I didn't watch 13. I had to borrow somebody's VHS cassette tape from school. And then from 14 on, I've watched everyone live. So it's a special day to me. It's always been. And my biggest memories, I have a leg up on some of the competition out there. And I'm maybe not you. I don't even know your Pats with this. But I have attended 3 WrestleManias. So in my adult life, one in my adult life, 2 in my early 20s, which I don't know if you consider that adult. But I have attended WrestleMania 23 in Detroit, WrestleMania 24 in Orlando, and WrestleMania 37, in Tampa Bay, the post-COVID Mania. And the first Mania that was 2 nights, which... Sidebar, thank the Lord it's 2 nights now. I mean, that is the greatest thing ever. But so the memories I have mostly stem from them. And the biggest part, I was a part of one of the greatest matches of all time watching Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels. And I know it's not like a Dave Meltzer work rate match, but the emotion on that match and being in that crowd has to be my number one WrestleMania moment. And another big one was when 2021 WrestleMania in Tampa, when it started, because no one was able to do anything for over a year at this point. And the wrestlers all came out and was waving to everybody before the show, and like people all around were just like in tears and like just so happy that like it felt like normal match was coming back. And then they did America the Beautiful, they did the fireworks display, a big package, and then Reigns in the area, everybody go under and get out of there. So it kind of left a little bit desire, but that moment will always stick with me forever.
So one thing I forgot to get out of the way before we got into this discussion, I'm not trying to get too personal, but I know you and I have a bit of an age difference. How old are you?
I am 39.
Okay, so it's not that bad. I'm 46, so I thought we were a little more divided, so that's really not that bad.
No. So, like, going to those Manias, I had to wait until I was a bit older to be able to afford them because, we're never going to have a WrestleMania in Buffalo, especially now. So just forget about it. I would be surprised if we ever had a SummerSlam or a Rumble or anything. But
I am optimistic that there will be a SummerSlam here in Buffalo after they went to Cleveland. I'm very optimistic.
It's true. You got a point there.
Going to make it happen.
You got a point there. You do have a point. Or no, maybe more of the Snowman will make it happen because he's a wrestling fan. Just was at Raw. So, but TV WrestleManias watching. I always my other favorite WrestleMania matches. But we'll get into the matches later. But watching Shawn Michaels Undertaker matches, those 2 in a row were just because mutual friend of our Robbie Vegas is a huge Shawn Michaels mark. And as you can see, I'm a big Undertaker fan. Watch those with him. It was just one of those, we're both standing up, we're both on and off the couch, we're both pushing each other, yaying, booing, like just living life and enjoying it. So those are some of my memories. But what about for you? This is not just my interview. What do you got?
So the first live WrestleMania I watched was WrestleMania 2. I watched WrestleMania 1 on VHS because I had started my fandom a little bit after that had happened. I will go to my grave no matter what the circumstances, no matter what the situations are. My number one all-time favorite WrestleMania match will always be Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy in the cage at WrestleMania 2. The lead up to that match, the dastardly deeds that were done on Saturday night's main event to Hulk Hogan had me locked in, had me captivated. Fast forward to WrestleMania 3, Hogan and Andre, in my opinion, still one of the biggest matches in the history of WrestleMania. I will go to that. And then I'm going to fast forward even further But this is for a bad reason because, once again, I'm Team Hogan, Hulk Hogan fan since I started becoming a professional wrestler. Hulk Hogan losing to the Ultimate Warrior in Toronto during WrestleMania 6 still breaks my heart to this day when people post photos or they post GIFs or GIFs or Reels or whatever the kids are calling them. Top 3, I'm going right there. Now, here's where I have a bit of a disconnect. I can remember pretty much every WrestleMania up to the Toronto one. After that, I was getting involved in pro wrestling, traveling, wrestling, doing the independent stuff.
Are you talking first Toronto or second Toronto?
I'm talking, 18, Hogan versus Rock?
So second Toronto. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, so once I got more heavily involved in wrestling, I didn't disconnect because I still watch, but I wasn't like bought in. So there was a bit of a blur for me from WrestleMania 19 all the way up until late 20s, early 30s. And then I really got back in, made WrestleMania must-see TV. But those 20s were a blur for me.
Well, I wonder. I mean, I get it. You're getting into wrestling stuff a couple years older. I mean, I was still just a teenage fan, but I kind of followed that path a bit. I'd always watch the WrestleManias, at least. But I wasn't watching Raw, SmackDown, none of it. But I would watch WrestleMania every year. But around that same exact time, I bowed out a little bit, and I think it's because we were so invested in the war, in the Monday Night War, that and it was over, and it was over. And, like, it's just like your team won or your team lost, either way, and it wasn't as important. And if you look at the viewership, too, it went down after that. So, like, even though I made it a point to watch every WrestleMania, I wasn't following the product. There was plenty of times, like, WrestleMania, I don't know, 27, that somebody would come out, and I'd be like, who the hell is that guy? Like, I would have no idea. You know what I mean? So, like, and I wasn't keen enough to be knowing, like, Bryan Danielson coming off the indies at that point. I was your total fan. I was like your Super Bowl fan that just watches WrestleMania and the Rumble. I always watch the Rumble, too. So I was out of it for a long time, too. And honestly, what helped me get back into it was purchasing the WWE Network right around WrestleMania 30. And I've paid for it ever since, or Peacock now. And I'm way more into wrestling now than I was the 10 years prior, you know, and I think that's a big to-do for it.
Yeah, for me, I checked out a little bit during WrestleMania 7 and WrestleMania 8. I still watched it, but I wasn't, like, totally bought in. Again, I think that might have had something to do with Hogan losing to Warrior and kind of stepping aside a little bit, and then I got really back into it, like, around WrestleMania 9. So I did get a little disconnected, but I still watched WrestleMania.
And you know why I think you got back into it at 9? Because I feel that's where my fandom blew up more. I liked wrestling because my brother liked wrestling. But WrestleMania 9, we talked on Robbie Vegas's podcast. For some reason, one of my favorite pay-per-views as a kid was Survivor Series 93. Don't know why, it just was. That's when Undertaker had Old Glory in his jacket and stupid stuff like that.
That was awesome.
But I think the reason why maybe you have it and I have that love is because what happened in 1993, Raw premiered. And you got it weekly every Monday instead of trying to catch it on Saturday mornings or whatever, or Sunday mornings, whatever it was. So, like, I think Raw coming live every week, at least for me, was like the biggest catalyst to just engulf myself into wrestling. And right around that time, they came out with the little plastic figures, and I was getting those, and like it was just everything all at once, and it was like perfect timing.
You probably can't see, but over my right shoulder, I have 2 of the IKEA Detolfs, which are filled with the WWF LJN Superstars figures.
Okay.
The full collection minus the last series because I don't believe that's an actual series. Part of the reason is because they were made from a Canadian company, not exactly LJN. It was Grand Toys, so I don't really get into that series, but I have 1 through 6 or 7, whatever, right behind me in those glass cases. So that's my love right there.
Awesome. So you might not have connected those dots, but I think Raw might have had a big reason that you got into it because objectively, WrestleMania 9 is awful. So like, why were we so into it then?
No, for sure. And I think that's part of the renaissance right now. I just finished up actually an hour ago watching last night's Raw on Netflix because I can just turn it off and pick up right where I left off. And I feel that a lot of people are going to get back into it. I mean, I don't know if you want to go by the ratings or whatever, that's subjective. A lot of people have different opinions and different metrics, but you can tell there's, from what's being reported, there has been an increase in viewership since the transition over to Netflix. And I believe that's going to get a lot of people that may have been disconnected back into it. I didn't pay for cable, so I was watching Friday Night SmackDown after date night on Fridays, but I'm not watching Raw on Monday. I'm going on YouTube and I'm watching highlights.
Yeah, and I was the same way, and I think you're right about that. And I think they don't care about ratings anymore. I think the only people that care about ratings is Dave Meltzer and those kind of guys, because they don't care about ratings because they're embracing this now. I mean, I know I seen you post something about it. All the stuff they're putting for free on YouTube right now,
Amazing.
like. It's insane. I mean, I pay for the network. That's all on there anyway. But it's still cool that it's out there on YouTube for people to see. Within 2 days, things have like 26,000 views, and it's like they don't care. It's the 1992 super tape. Put it up there. People are going to watch it and talk about your product, and it's going to bring you into the new stuff. Because when I started rewatching the old stuff on the network, it made me want to watch the newer stuff as well. So that's how I look at it.
And you mentioned the toys back in +93, and now you go to Target, you go to Walmart, there's a different series out every 2 weeks, and you have these adult collectors that that like push the kids out of the way to get the latest figures, and that's getting people even more involved.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to like yuck anybody's yum, but that's silly, man. Like let the kid get it. Don't be like that. Like you can collect, that's fine, but like. If you're collecting, like you behind you got all this stuff on the shelf, great. If you're buying it to put on like on eBay and stuff, like I want to knock that person out. And you know, Kevin Owens just had that rant about not signing people's stuff in airports. And good. I'm glad somebody big like that said it. I'll take a picture. Oh no, you're sad because you're getting a picture with me? Like, go to hell. You know, and I love it. I love that he said that.
You know, it's probably safe for me to say this now because we're a week or so out. The day after he announced his neck injury and neck surgery on SmackDown, I saw him at Epcot in Disney the next day.
Oh, okay. I mean, did you approach him or anything?
No, I don't do that. I'm not like, I don't act like a fan when I'm around pros like that. But it was good to see him out in public. I've never seen him in person. He's a lot bigger than I thought he was. Very tall. You know, pretty muscular up top. And you know, I could have went up to him and said something, mutual friend, yada, 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 but I'm not going to do that, especially when he's at Epcot trying to enjoy the day with some friends. I'm not going to do that. But as we were leaving, he was coming in, and I saw that he had posted something about doing an autograph signing the next day with all proceeds to benefit a local children's charity. So I know he's doing some good work down there in Orlando, and God bless him for that.
I saw him in Tampa Bay for a quick second. I was walking around the downtown area, and I look over at this nice hotel, and he's like in the U-Drive in the front in like a Maserati that he must either owns or rented, and I just like pointed at him. But that was it. That was it. And I was not going to go up and talk to him. I would have been. And he was another guy that got me back into wrestling when he made his call up. John Cena and him. Oh, it was so great.
Yeah, I used to like watching Ring of Honor on like Fox, like late on Sunday nights. Yes. Seeing some of his stuff from there, it was really, really impressive.
The wrestling fans that don't have cable, it was a fun little time. You know, it really was like 2012 to 2018 or something. It was a fun little time.
Sure. You want to get to the match card?
Well, I'm ready. I'm ready to talk some wrestling.
All right. Yeah, 2 nights. Once again, we talked about it. We got a nice preview here on WWE.com. I prefer to go to the horse's mouth instead of going to like a third-party website and all that other stuff. So what we have, are you a kickoff guy? Are you going to watch at 5 o'clock and straight into the card?
I don't know. I mean, probably not. I might have it on, but I'm not going to sit there and watch. Like that, you know. I mean, it's going to be from like 4 p.m. to 1 in the morning. So, like, I'm a wrestling fan, but I mean, there's limits.
Yeah, I'll have it on as background noise as I'm getting food prepared in the kitchen or doing whatever. I know we're going to have a couple people coming over, so I got to do some cleaning and get some food ready and get things all situated for people to come over. And I like it. It's very comforting as background noise, just having that on. I'm not sure. Let me see if it says who's going to be hosting. It does not say, but it'll probably be Big E, Wade Barrett, McAfee maybe, and the usual suspects, Jackie Redmond. We'll assume that's going to be the case. No knowledge. I'm just assuming. And
I don't think I think McAfee's going to be on the call. I don't think he'll be there early, right?
I don't know. He might pop his head. You know what happens when you assume, Chaz, right?
Oh, I've heard that joke, Dad. That's a dad joke.
All right. Instead of boring everybody, let's go into the actual card. So we're gonna go from bottom to top. Again, this is night 1, Saturday. First match. I am very excited for. Looking forward to Rey Mysterio against El Grande Americano, not to be confused with the Starbucks beverage.
I didn't never think of that. See that? That was good. Yeah, like I think this is fun for Rey Mysterio because he's in the twilight of his career. He doesn't have to do this. This is a fun match for him. It's a fun program, and I believe is he the heel right now?
No,
in this, he's not the heel. He was for a little bit, wasn't he? Wasn't he trying that?
He was kind of skirting down the middle, but definitely he was still the hero.
Okay, so it's fun. The whole story that is it Chad Gable is fun, and there's still no proof it's Chad Gable. We're just saying, there's no proof. It's cool to see them have Chad Gable on the card. Do we think though this is going to be the opening actually match? Because I think it is a good actual match. Or are they going to open up with the championship match for the first night? I think
you're probably going to be looking at if they follow the trend they've been doing in the past. I think maybe Gunther versus Jey Uso is going to be the opening match, but I'm going to withhold from making any predictions because I don't want to seem like the average shitty independent wrestler that's going to act like they're above any match on the card. So I'm just going to give a couple words on what I think about the match, but I think you nailed it when you talk about this match, and I think the word is fun, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm not above giving predictions, so let's get that.
You are allowed to. You are a fan. I'm just saying, as my involvement in pro wrestling, I cannot stand when these low-level independent wrestlers either critique a match of somebody that's better than them, or just think that their whole product is better than what you're seeing on WWE on Monday and Friday.
I see. It's like when the local band is at the big national band concert. Like I get that.
I was gonna just go on that level with you because I think you'd understand it a little more.
Yeah. So I guess in a nutshell, I don't want to spend too much time on this one. It's going to be a fun match, and what I think is going to happen is I think you might get the whole El Grande Americano wins, and then you finally get the big unmasking. And then he runs out and covers his face, and you know what I mean? Just that kind of goofiness from him. And but I do think he's going to win it. I think he's going to take out Rey, and he deserves a nice little WrestleMania match. You know, he's a fantastic talent.
Yeah, and I think the result will come with wherever this match is placed on the card. This is something that can leave the fans pretty happy, so we'll see how that plays out. But I'm really looking forward to this one. All right, next up, this is what I would consider a grudge match. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. In my own personal opinion, I just hope that matches like this aren't going to get the full 15 to 20 minutes. I would expect maybe 10 minutes or so. Cargill's got to come out firing, get her revenge, but I think this is going to be a nice little match.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I think Cargill is, everyone says how she needs a lot of work, but I think she looks good. She looks like a powerhouse. She looks like a wrestler. You know what I mean? It's like she just, if she's got around her edges, you would know that more than me. Great. But that's just like the internet word on her. But I think they're going to have this big match between them to get her going and to push her. There's no reason that WrestleMania 43, Jade Cargill's not the women's champion. You know what I mean? And I think this could be a nice springboard for her.
Yeah, both these women are stars, and I'm sure they're going to get the grand WrestleMania entrances that we've known and grown to love. Speaking of groaning, next up, World Tag Team title match. I didn't say that. You didn't hear that from me. The War Raiders defending their championships against the New Day. Now, Chaz, you may know a little bit more about this than I do. Are the New Day on the cusp of breaking any more records if they win the championships at WrestleMania?
No, I don't think they have like a. I don't think they have like an amount. They just had like the amount of time.
Sure.
As opposed to like John Cena and Bruno Sammartino. You know what I mean? Like Bruno only had the title twice, but he had it for so long. So I don't think they're there. I think it's. I don't know. I kind of like. I don't know what you were alluding to, but like New Days as heels are cool. I'm just not super excited. I'm just kind of over them. I know what to expect from them. That's why the whole heel thing is a little different, but I don't know. I could have lived without this match if we're going to be completely honest.
Up next, United States Championship match. The megastar LA Knight defending against Jacob Fatu. I think the result of this match is going to be pretty predictable, but I'm looking forward to seeing it nonetheless.
Yeah. No, I love them both. I just feel they have this twinkle in their eye for Jacob Fatu, and they're going to get him over as much as they can. And kind of what I said about Jade Cargill. Who would not think that Jacob Fatu could not headline a WrestleMania in a few years if they're going to push him like that? And he's got all the tools in the world to do it, I think. And again, same thing. It could be a launching point for him. You know, he doesn't need to have the title out of this. He just needs to put on a good match, I feel, to like start springboarding his career. And I'm interested to see. And I said this about Gunther 2 years ago, and I seem to be right about that one. He's not necessarily headlining, but still, you know, Gunther's walking into Mania as a champ. There's no reason that Fatu can't be walking into Mania as champ in a couple of years.
Yeah, I started watching MLW during COVID, and that's where, in a non-sexual way, I fell in love with Jacob Fatu, and I could not wait for him to make it to the WWE roster. So if the inevitable happens on Saturday, I am totally fine with it, and we'll see what direction they go with the megastar. Next up, the match that has the internet nerds and geeks buzzing. It's for the WWE Women's Championship. It's the champion Tiffany Stratton defending against Charlotte Flair.
This match is, I mean, I guess no pun intended, folks at home. This match is hot right now. And like literally, even just like random reels I see and stuff like that, I'm seeing more stuff from this match than I am Cody Rhodes. It's insane how much heat this has. And I am on an island out here. I love Tiffany Stratton. She's great. But I've been on an island for years that I like Charlotte Flair a lot. I think Charlotte Flair is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. Everyone turns their backs on her and hates her and blah, blah, blah. Just even 5-6 years ago, everybody loves Becky and hates Charlotte. But guess who's wrestling right now? Charlotte's wrestling right now. Charlotte didn't go off and had a family like Becky did, and I'm not shitting on Becky, but Charlotte decided to stay the course with her career, and everybody is going to just give her a hard time about it and boo her. Why? Because her dad is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time? So what? Like that, she's great, and Tiffany's great, and I'm so excited to see this match, and I think the right move is having Tiffany win to just bolster her career because she's still so young in her career and everything like that. But I'll be rooting for Charlotte, not going to lie.
Can I tell you why fans hate Charlotte Flair?
Please do.
So Charlotte Flair is a superstar, bona fide superstar. She carries herself like a superstar. This modern wrestling fan, a lot of modern wrestling fans feel like they are friends with wrestlers on social media because they have the opportunity to follow them. A lot of wrestlers will let down that fourth wall and expose what they do on Tuesday through Thursday before they're in between Raw and SmackDown. And they feel like they are the wrestler's friends, and they don't feel like the wrestler is a level above them. Charlotte Flair carries herself a level above everybody, which is what makes some fans revolt against her because she is, once again, a true 100% bona fide star. I love Tiffany Stratton, and I love Charlotte Flair as well. So I'm looking forward to this match, and I think this match should get the spotlight it deserves and give them the full entrances, give them the full 20-minute match, and I'm really looking forward to sitting back and watching this.
Yeah, I can agree with everything you just said. Like that, she is a star. Like, and she loves it. She loves the hate, and there's so much like going on. Like, is this a shoot between all of them? It just makes it even better, you know. And they're playing into it. They're playing into it, and it's great. And I love it. I'm excited for it.
All right, next up, World Heavyweight Championship match. The champion Gunther versus Jay, main event Uso. They have gone so far with advancing this whole story over the last 2 weeks. The amount of blood that was spilled on that Monday Night Raw, I don't know where that came from. I don't know if that was planned. I don't know what the deal was with that, but you have my full attention. I've been a big fan of Gunther from the very beginning, and Jey Uso, you cannot deny the presence that he has, the way the fans are behind him. People have talked about this being the Yes Movement 2.0, and I am really excited about this match. I think the outcome is predictable. But again, sometimes predictable in professional wrestling is not bad.
Yeah, I've been a fan of since Gunther. So like he's incredible. I love him, and I'm a big fan of him. And you're right. Like Jay has something to him. I don't necessarily do backflips for him, but he's got the crowd wrapped around his finger. He really does. They buy everything he does, and he is playing this. I know he kind of just made the change to being a badass, but he was doing this sympathetic babyface role for a while now, really good. And the fact that they're turning it up now, it makes the match interesting. I think it's a great contrasting of styles, and I think it's the best thing they could have did. This him winning the Rumble and getting into this match means more, and then the way they turned Cena later would have meant way more to both of them than, say, Cena winning the Rumble. So, like, they're going on the right path. They really are for this. I am excited for this. I think this will kick off the show, honestly. I think this will be the first match.
Yeah, and I just had a thought as we roll into the main event, which is the triple threat match. As I mentioned, just finished watching Raw and watching Seth Rollins being the last man standing in the ring. I'm thinking Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins heading into the big summer there of before SummerSlam. I don't know why that just dawned on me, but I had that thought.
And by the way, I didn't say I do think Jey Uso is going to win. I didn't say that, but that's interesting. That'd be a good match too. I'm happy. I like when you get somebody like I could never really tell the difference. Obviously, they're twins between Jay and Jimmy, but he really broke out. You know what I mean? And it's cool to see that he really broke out from this. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of him. I'm not doing backflips for him, but it would be cool to see if he takes down Gunther and then moves on to yeah. That would be cool, Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, or it really depends on who wins tomorrow night. But we'll save that.
Yeah, not to go too deep into this match. I know we keep talking about it, but I hate to see Jimmy kind of fall to the wayside and just them not have much for him with the lineage, with the family history, with the tag team history that he's had. I think they need to really work on him after WrestleMania, see if they can find something different direction for him to go down. But again, I'm not here to fix all the world's problems. So let's talk about the...
He'll probably get back in a feud at some point.
I would hope. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, main event, triple threat match. It's 2/3 of the Shield versus CM Punk. Paul Heyman, the X Factor in this match. Great out on Monday Night Raw to lead into the events on Saturday. Very excited about this match. I just think it's a complete and total waste that Dean Ambrose will not be able to be there. I think he needs to be involved in some way, shape, or form. Again, I don't really go behind the scenes on a lot of the insider news. Not exactly sure when his contract is up, but I feel just a huge waste not having him here.
He's AEW champion, so I doubt that it's going to be happening. He is the AEW world champion right now.
I am the one half of the 716 wrestling tag team champions. Does that mean I can't go and get a burger from somebody other than AJ's Kitchen?
I mean, it depends on what the boss says, but you're the boss and I'm the boss, so we can figure that out. Tony Khan is not going to play with WWE. There's no way that you can. I understand what you're saying, and I think they can have that at a different point. But also, to be fair, CM Punk's a way bigger star than Dean Ambrose. it makes sense for the story and the wrestling fans, but to have CM Punk in this match is what's making this match so special. I really feel that. Well, to be fair, Paul Heyman is making this match special. And the way they're all like dangling him like a carrot, it's so perfect. Like, as hot as I was saying that Charlotte Flair match is, this is the hottest match of the whole thing. I feel like, I mean, I see so many reels about it, so many people talking about it. Like, any form of these guys could headline WrestleMania. So to have all three of them in there, but that extra-ness of Paul Heyman, and the fact now that, like, you don't know what's going on with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, like, this is gold, and I am so excited for this match.
I see what you did there. When you were talking about dangling Paul like a carrot, you're talking about his tan, right?
No, I didn't go there. I wouldn't never make fun of Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is making this match like so much like just desirable to watch, because like you're waiting. You don't know, like, yes, he's walking out with CM Punk, but he's showing how much he loves Roman still. And now Seth Rollins, he owes the favor. It's insanity. Like, Mr. Know-It-All wrestling fans, and me included, that thinks I know everything sometimes, no idea what's going to happen. None. And I'm so excited to sit down and enjoy the ride.
Well, Chazz, you started off with one word and you ended with another word, that word being fun. Let's fast forward to night number 2. They're calling it WrestleMania Sunday, and we will go from bottom to top the way this card is laid out. We're starting out AJ Styles against Logan Paul. I have been over Logan Paul for quite some time now. The man has millions, possibly billions of dollars, doing a lot better in life than I am, but I just can't buy in.
And then real quick, I didn't make my pick. Seth Rollins wins that match.
I'm sorry. I went too fast.
That was me as well. Seth Rollins wins that match. I'm excited for this match. I think that, like, Logan Paul's better than a lot of people give him credit for. Sure, he's still learning, but he's going to put on a good match. And AJ Styles is that kind of guy, the modern day, I don't know, Bret Hart, that can get a good match out of anybody. So he's already working pretty well. It's your absolute, everybody either loves or hate Logan Paul. And AJ Styles kind of being on that like lower level at the moment, not in championship races, gets a lot of wrestling fans behind him. And I feel like it's going to be a hot crowd for this match. And Logan's always up for a stunt. I feel like AJ is kind of like the old dog in the room. He's getting towards the end of his career. He might be up for a big stunt here or there for something. And I have a feeling there's just going to be something big that happens in this match. Some big spot. One of them's going to do something a little wild. And I just want to see it. And I am a little excited for this.
Unless Shane McMahon comes from the roof of Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, I have no interest.
Okay. Well, and I do think that I think AJ pulls out the win. But
I mean,
it's just going to be – I think it's going to be fun. I hope that it surprises you, because I think they can get a good match out of them too.
We can only hope AJ Styles wins and then Logan Paul goes to TNA.
Why? He's a big draw for WWE. They're not going to let him go anywhere. Anytime he retweets something, he probably gets billions and billions of people.
Don't buy it. Sin City Street Fight up next. Damian Priest against Drew McIntyre. Help me out, because I am kind of confused. When Drew McIntyre came out, when I watched the YouTube highlights from SmackDown this past week, he seemed like he was more on the hero side of things. Did they reverse roles in this match, or am I missing something?
I don't know. He got I've heard a real legitimate eye injury from glass when he got backdropped or whatever on the car. I feel like this is one of those matches where it's like, what are we going to do? These two were involved in the championship match last year. I believe, yeah, because I'm pretty sure that Drew McIntyre was going for the title, and then Priest cashed in. So I want to see this match because they're two athletes that I like. I've been a big fan of Damian Priest since, Ring of Honor days, Punishment Martinez days. So I always liked him. I was happy he had his run. And it's just two big boys going at it, right? Like, it's kind of like that old school feel. Like, we kind of had something similar to this 3 years ago, and people slept on it when it was, I think it was Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre. And that match was possibly the best match on the entire card. And this one maybe could be the same. We'll have to see. I just want to see it. I don't know who's heel and who's face. I don't think it matters. I think it's just two big dudes that are gonna just beat the hell out of each other and have a fun match.
Who you got in this one?
It seems like it's got to be Drew. He's kind of been dragging for a bit. He seems like he needs a big win. Yeah, it seems like I got to go with Drew.
All right, next up, the WWE Women's Tag Team title match. I'm looking for this match to be fun as well. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, the champions, defending against the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria and Bayley.
Again, this particular seems like it's more of the match to just get these people on the card. I don't know. Maybe I'm just out of the tag team divisions right now because I kind of said the same thing about the other tag match. Like I don't care. Like I don't care. I'm gonna watch it. Maybe, probably. I mean, I'm not gonna turn it off. Obviously, Liv and Raquel have a lot going on for them. I don't think you're taking the title off of them. Maybe you are. Bayley's, built herself up to be a star. I just don't know, man. Am I wrong for like not caring about this?
No, but let me ask you this. Would you rather have this women's tag team championship match or a Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and a Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal? You got to pick your battles here.
I'll take the tag match. I will take the tag match. And like I would rather have this one-on-one tag match, two-on-two tag match than that sharkanery they did last year. There's like 6 teams or whatever. I'd rather have this. So, I felt like this match was rushed. Is this replacing, you think, the Randy Orton, Kevin Owens match? I felt like it was kind of thrown on late. Or are we going to get a Randy Orton, Nick Aldis match? Because I would absolutely love that if we got that.
I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like they're a little bit too heavy on both nights. So I'm not sure if that was a replacement or they just, once again, wanted to get as many people on the card as possible. But I figured that went out the window when Triple H took over because I know, back in the day, the WrestleMania payday was a big deal. It was very important for you to get on the card. Henceforth, the Andre Battle Royal, the Moolah Battle Royal, and all the other shenanigans that would take place. So I don't really have an answer. I don't know. I mean, I think there's more that can happen this Friday night. There's more that can happen on Saturday. Maybe you carry Saturday over into Sunday with Randy Orton. He's got to be doing something somewhere.
Right. And I would love the Nick Aldis match. Nick Aldis carried TNA not TNA, NWA as well for like 5-6 years. And the guy's young. He's 38. So there's no reason he shouldn't be wrestling. And I know he's not like a big replacement star, but I mean, he had as much indie cred as Kevin Owens has had. So I think it would be cool to get that on the card over this random thrown in tag match. And I mean, Liv Morgan is a star, a bigger star, I think, than Bayley, and she should hang on to the title.
And even if you listen to Nick Aldis do any kind of interview, he talks about how he keeps his fitness up. He still trains like he's going to be in the ring. So I would love that match, but I'm not sure if it has that main. I'm not sure if enough people know about Nick Aldis and TNA or NWA to make that a WrestleMania match. That's my only thing I would say.
I totally agree, but it could be a good way to like get him going. Like, because the guy's never even, like you said, with his fitness, the guy's a super cut, muscular guy. You don't know that he's always been in the suit. So like, he shows up at WrestleMania to the 80% of the people that don't know who the hell he is, and he takes off his robe, and they're like, "Damn, this guy's bigger than Cody." Like, I think it could be a cool reveal, but also the next pay-per-view is Randy Orton's hometown, so maybe they have something planned big for him there. So I don't know. I had a sidetrack, but I just wanted to touch on that too.
That is part of the problem too, because if you see Nick Aldis come out in trunks, boots, he looks like $1 million. It's kind of hard to put him back into a suit and make him the every week authority figure because you can only do it so many times. And that's like, we can go back and forth about Vince versus Steve Austin for months and whatever, but this is in a different situation, a different time. So I think if he were to go out there and you see Nick Aldis, the superstar that he is, it'd be hard to put the toothpaste back in the tube and make him the authority figure again. All right, next up, a match I am really looking forward to is the Triple Threat Women's World Championship match between Io, Bianca, and Rhea Ripley. Io Sky winning the championship right here in Buffalo.
I was there.
Me too.
I was there. It was right kind of in front of me. Weird that happened, first of all.
I didn't expect that at all.
Right? It's so weird that it happened. I almost feel like she's forgotten in this match. Even with her, I think that's why they put the title on her to like people like. I mean, you could headline WrestleMania with Rhea and Bianca Belair. You really could. So like throwing her in there and she's forgotten leads me to believe that she's going to walk away with the title, honestly, because the other two don't need it right now. And I think, it's an exciting match. Three different styles. Hyper athletic on Bianca's side, powerhouse on Rhea's side, and, high flyer on Eos. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a great match. And I don't know if it will, but this would be a hell of a match to start the card with on Sunday.
That was my next thought. I'm hoping that it does indeed start the card on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I totally messed up over here. I missed one match, and we definitely want to talk about this match. It's the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor versus Penta versus Dominic Mysterio.
It's going to be a great match. And I think the most important thing in this match is whoever wins. It doesn't matter to me who wins, meaning that I think they're all worthy. I think they'll all have good matches moving on. The prestige is back on the Intercontinental Champion, except one guy. Get the title off of Braun Breaker, because start leveling him up. Because like he's got to get up into the heavyweight championship realm. Like just like I said about Fatu, you could have Fatu versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania 43. You can start leveling him up. I don't care who wins the title. I think it's going to be Dominic, because Dominic needs a little run on something. Let Dominic get one. But I think it's going to be a fun match as long as you're going to get the Intercontinental title off of Braun, just like they did last year with Gunther. They got the title off of him finally. They leveled him up. I think it's Braun Breaker's time to see if he can get up into that top level. And it's going to be fun, man. Penta's crazy. Finn is known to have great matches. Dominic is one of the best performers in the business. And Braun Breaker is a athletic powerhouse who's one of the next big things, I think. So
Yeah, I'm not sure where Penta has been hiding all these years, but I am there for Penta.
It was called AEW that nobody watches.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what it was.
Now let's go. Never mind. Now let's go to the main event for the.
That was me, folks. That was not him. That was me, for the record.
You bleep that, right?
There we go.
Thank you. Now for the undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes against John Cena.
Wait for it. Okay, I had to drop that. I'm way more excited for this main event match than I have been the last 10 years, maybe, for WrestleMania. And I was excited for Cody and stuff last year, but this is just different. A whole different level. We haven't even watched heel John Cena wrestle yet, have we?
No.
Right? So this is just not knowing what he's doing, not knowing what The Rock is up to. There's no way The Rock is not there. None. You know what I mean? There's no way. And I have a big longer theory on this, but I'll hold that for a second because I'll let you get your words in on what you think. But it's going to be the best match of the whole weekend.
I know some of the vocal minority on the internet have complained about John Cena's lack of involvement, not understanding how the real world works, that John Cena is getting paid millions and millions of dollars to be a movie star. He will be wrestling at WrestleMania, but I feel like there's going to be so many bells and whistles mixed in there so he doesn't have to take any unnecessary chances and risk millions upon millions upon millions of dollars for more movies. So I think this is going to be similar to last year's match where there's going to be a bunch of different people involved. There'll be a bunch of twists, a bunch of turns, a roller coaster, if you will, and I am very excited to see this match. I just hope I can stay awake that late and not have to watch it on Monday morning like a child.
Do you know, though, who's forgotten in all this is Cody Rhodes. Nobody's talking about Cody Rhodes anymore, for this. And that's sad because the guy is over. I mean, he's great. Cody Rhodes is much better at the top of the card than I expected him to be. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought he might have failed, and he did not. So he's the perfect person for this match right here. Here's my long-term scenario, long-term booking. You know about this, right? So I think, and I truly do think, and I think it's our call, that John Cena wins this match, right? Let him get that title. Let him break Ric Flair's thing, and then put that in the past. You don't have to worry about that anymore. But you want to talk about long-term booking? Have him win the title. Have him on that Brock Lesnar schedule. He doesn't have to wrestle. Brock Lesnar never wrestled. Roman Reigns barely wrestled. Cody's been on a heater for two to 3 years. He needs a little break, maybe. So let John Cena headline SummerSlam against Cody Rhodes, okay? Let John Cena headline Survivor Series against whoever, Jey Uso, okay? Let John Cena headline Royal Rumble against whoever, Cody Rhodes again. And then CM Punk wins that Royal Rumble. And 15 years later, you got headline WrestleMania, CM Punk versus John Cena. 3 to 4 different generations of wrestling fans. They finally get that match. CM Punk gets his other headlining match against the Devil, the guy that caused him so much heartbreak 15 years ago, that made him leave the business. And it's a heel John Cena and a babyface CM Punk headline WrestleMania for the title. Do you know that would be mind-blowing if they could get there?
You forgot one very important detail in that whole scenario, though.
Cena said he's retiring, right?
No. John Cena wins the championship. Out comes Charlotte Flair. They make out in the middle of the ring. Fade to black.
That'd be, dude. You could do so much with this, And then that's the thing. Oh, John Cena's going to retire at the end of the year. He's a heel now, folks. He could just go. No, I'm the champ. I'm not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like you can get out of it. I'm so excited. I don't know if they're going to go that route, and maybe Cena doesn't win the title there, but I think by the end of the year, John Cena's champion.
I like what you're putting out there.
I think because that would be such a huge match. They teased it in the Elimination Chamber when they hugged and they went at it, and they CM Punk, and John Cena. They teased it. The crowd bought into it. They have to be thinking this way and get to that match next year, because John Cena CM Punk is almost a headlining match. But for the title and CM Punk winning Royal Rumble finally, that's like 4 generations of fans that you can pull in with that.
There is so much that can be done for the remainder of this year going into next year, and I like how you laid that out, but we are running out of time, and I need my dessert. Any thoughts, opinions, feelings on the Hall of Fame before we get out of here this evening?
I mean, well-deserved for everybody. Triple H deserves to go in. Michelle McCool deserves to go in. The only thing that I don't understand is, from what I saw, there's nobody inducting the natural disasters. It showed the induction. Why they never showed who's inducting them in? So is that just going to be a package? I mean, I know Earthquake's not with us, but the other guy is. Tugboat's still with us, isn't he?
I'm hoping it's Brian Knobbs. Apparently, he needs some help. So.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's a good Hall of Fame class. I want to say it's almost a bit lackluster, but that's because Triple H is just so underrated from people because he married into the family. People just act like he does not good, and he's one of the greatest of all time. But even me, I want to say it's a bit underwhelming, but it's Triple H going in. It shouldn't be underwhelming.
What are your feelings on the presentation itself? Personally, in my own opinion, I'm getting a little burnt out on the whole Hall of Fame scenario. I liked last year how they started with Paul Heyman, and I think I went to bed immediately right after his speech. I think it's getting a little bit overdone, and I was hoping that with the new regime, they would cut it down to maybe only 3 individuals per year. It's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Good. Not to take anything away from the natural disasters. They were there for a long time. But if we're talking about Hall of Fame, I'm sorry, in my own personal opinion, I don't put them in that class.
I do agree with you. I think the issue that they have, and we forgot to mention Lex Luger. I didn't mean that. Lex Luger. I think they have, and actually they're breaking it a little bit. They had a script they follow. One huge name, one woman, one tag team. You know what I mean? That just kind of not always a tag team, but it just kind of seems like they have to have a woman, they have to have a headliner, they have to have like a mid card guy, and like
Celebrity, the Warrior Award.
yeah, so they did cut it down in that aspect. You've only got 3 people and then the natural disasters. You know what I mean? So it's like they did cut it down. The issue is they're doing it after SmackDown. That's the issue. And us on the East Coast, that stuff starts at 10 p.m. Or SmackDown going to a 10 or 11 even now? I don't even remember.
I'm confused because they have all the times being West Coast time. So I don't know how that's going to work. But I mean, still, you're talking 5 hours. It's Friday night, 5 hours, and then you're going the next day and the next day, and then you have Monday Night Raw, and you start all over again. It's just to me, it's just getting to be too much. I love it. I love the WWE. I'm a supporter of the WWE. I'm a fan. I always have been, probably always will be, but it's just too much. I'm just a little bit burnt out with the whole Hall of Fame stuff.
Yeah, if they can get through it quick, that'd be great. But Triple H is, a bit long-winded sometimes. But now that he's corporate Triple H, he might just do his 5-minute speech and get out. Remember when the Undertaker speech was like 45 minutes?
But he's earned that.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a problem with a headliner going 40 minutes, but I don't want it to be after 2 hours. I mean, like if they do what they did last year, Triple H kicks it off, Lex Luger ends it, and you throw all the other gaga in the middle, that's totally fine. But I really want to hear what Lex has to say. DDP, not so much, but I want to hear from Lex, his thoughts, feelings, opinions, and I might just watch this one on replay.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to watch it on replay. It's just that whole day, dude. There's Saturday morning, there's an NXT pay-per-view.
I love it.
Right? It's crazy. It's just a crazy weekend. And, hey, they wouldn't be doing it if people weren't watching.
Yeah.
Right?
That's very true, and that's a great way to end this. Do you mind if I promote something before we get out of here?
Go for it.
All right, so as most of you probably know, Sunday, April 27th, Buffalo Championship Wrestling presents Stampede. It's an afternoon of family-friendly, local and live professional wrestling action. Renaissance Club in North Tonawanda, 252 Vanderbilt Street, 4 p.m. bell time. Doors open at 3 o'clock. Tickets are still available. Front row seats. There's only a few available for $25. If they are still available the day of, you spend $30. Then we have adult general admission tickets for $15. Day of, $20. I added a Sunday 6-pack ticket. That's 6 general admission tickets for only $72 plus fees. And then if you're a kid 12 or under the day of the event, you get it for $10. Main event, Dan Joseph defending the championship against Buck Wild Tommy K. And then you have a big grudge match between your friend Rockstar Robbie Vegas and the Dominant Force Jeremiah Richter. Also, Witch Doctor faces the debuting Real Italian Excellence Cristiano Argento. The tag team champions are going to be there. The Killer Steves are coming back. To get bundles, Bennett Cole, the whole host of others will be there for Stampede. For tickets and more information, BCW- or BCW-WNY.com. Follow us on socials at BCWWNY. It's going to be a great event, Chaz.
It sounds like a great card. I will do my best to get there.
I hope you're going to be there. I missed you last time.
Yeah, I hope to get there too. It's just a weekend that I might have something else going on, but I'm going to do my best. And if I'm there, you guys come up and say hi. I'll sign your autographs. It'll be fine.
For sure. And I might have to make a trip in. I wanted to go to AJ's today, but Bada Bing came up, and I was a little bit closer to Bada Bing, and I had another errand to run. So I'm hoping to get into AJ's at some point this week before I gorge myself with prime rib on Sunday during Easter Sunday.
Yes. Happy Easter to all who celebrate as well, and happy WrestleMania to all who celebrate.
Yeah. Anything else you want to get in before we get out of here this evening?
Just if you're listening, Triple H, just follow my advice on that whole John Cena summer and story, and just you can count the money and send me a check later. All right, Triple H, thank you. Was that Vince McMahon?
That was Vince McMahon. The ghost of Vince McMahon is always amongst us.
Do I have a Vince McMahon drop? Oh, I think I deleted it. I had a Brett screwed Brett drop, but I don't have it anymore.
I gotta do now that I like doing this. I'm a radio guy, you know that. I'm an audio guy, but I enjoy doing this, and I'm glad that you led me through this whole process. I have my Roadcaster, I have a camera, I have a light, I have everything I need, but I'm just too lazy to do this. So thank you so much for walking me through this journey here this evening, Chazz.
Hey, no problem. I was ready to talk some wrestling, and I'm always ready for a podcast. If you need to go, you let me know.
All right, sounds good. That's all I got. Go Bills.
Go Bills.